Morning everyone, it's Leanne from Rivo Creations. Thanks for joining me, and it is a beautiful day here in Sydney. It's a bit coolish, but it's still a beautiful day, and I am in a mess and I'm just going to clean up a little bit. I don't need that anymore. I'm not painting, so I'm going to take that off, and I have got a lot of messy. I'm blowing it just to get the dust and stuff off. I'll give that a good clean my mat later on. But anyway, just move that over if I can. Yep. I've got some of these garden pages, my favourite book. And this beautiful paper. Oh, I love it. It's just got to write everything that I like. And here's our projects for today, because I need some more projects, some more ephemera for my junk journal, and I've got some spare paper here, book pages, and all I've done is folded that in halves, and there's 3-ply thickness, in other words 3 pages. So I've just made them into little booklets. This one's got 2 because that's all I had there. I have ripped up another book, so I will show you that. But at the time I only had 2 sheets. So look, I've got all this I've ripped out, and all of that. Beautiful pages. Absolutely beautiful. Put it up there. Okay, so I've got 3 booklets and 3 envelopes. And I thought that's what I'd do today. But in the meantime, I was watching Roxy Creations, Rachel from Roxy Creations, that's it. And she was doing these different envelopes this morning that one of her subbies showed her or gave to her, or she watched the video. I'm going to attempt to make them. So the bigger your book pages are, the bigger the envelope, or the pocket I should say. So let me just see, remember what she did. That way. So fold it in halves. Now I'm thinking as I'm going along, so bear with me. I really have a shocking memory. I'm only good at maths, that's it. Maths. One of my favourite subjects when I was a kid. Maths. Okay. Ooh, what else did she do? Ooh, let me think. Oh, right. She then went over 3/4 of the way from the left side to the right side, like this. Oh, it's going to really mess up my picture, isn't it? Let's do it this way. So, how about just about there? So we'll leave this width here, in here. Make sure we get it right. Let me just see if it's level, or even I should say. Alright, let's bring it back to that line there. There we go. And that line there. Okay, so there we go. That's what she done. So she folded that in halves, your book page. Then she folded it 3/4 from the left to the right, and you've got this bit here. Then she opened it up, and this corner here, she put the flap down. Let me see. Oops, I ripped it. It's because the paper's so beautifully delicate. So there, she put that down there. Now then you put it back together. Yep, that's it. And that's how it turns out. So you've got this pocket in here, You probably possibly got one behind there. You got one at the top. And then she machine sewed around the lot. So when you machine sew it around the lot, except the top, yeah, except the top. So machine sew it here, machine sew it there, and that's it. The rest you glue down, whatever you don't want there. Here, you could machine sew that bit down there too, but you don't want to, because you really want this here, and this can be a flap, this can be a pocket. Let me see, if you opened it up, you could sew that down first, but you've got to be a bit smart about it. But anyway, you'll work it out, but that's how she did them. I like them. I think that they're quite clever. I'm going to do one more. Let me just see. Now then, you decorate all that, or you can leave some of that, some of the paper stuff. That looks nice on the back, but decorate it. Okay, so let's see. She folded that in halves. So get a piece. I'll just wait. Get a piece. I'll book page. It doesn't matter what size it is. And I'll just wait for you to get a piece. So fold it in halves. Doesn't matter what size. It could be this little. The pocket is the pocket. They're pretty big pockets, but I can use them in my junk journal. Then she took the left and went to the right and done 3/4. Done 3/4. I'll just put it on my ruler here, my mat, so we can get all it even Steven. She went 3/4 there. There we go. So she left this quarter here. Okay. So there we go. And we've got that down. That's simple. Then she opened it up. So let's open it together. Then she went to this left-hand corner here and she just folded that down. Like that. Now then we put it back together on the folds and voila, that's what you got. So that was pretty simple. I really like that, and I love the glossy paper. Okay, so that's 2 more we can put into our junk journal as well. Right, so let's get on to our envelopes and our books. We're not going to be able to finish them today, but I'll do one of each. Yes, we'll do one of each. Now, I am going to cut this up a bit because I've got that edge straight, but this one here's got multiple layers showing, and I don't want that. I just want it very, very straight and flat, not having those layers. So you just cut a little bit off and check your whole one, see if it's okay. Even this looks like it's a little bit out. Right. Let me see again. That's pretty good. Just there's a little bit funny. So I'm just going to do it one more time. Just get all my levels straight. Yep. Not as straight, to get rid of those laid effect. You know how you don't, it's crooked and you get it crooked. I want it all straight and nice. Now we are going to machine sew these ones. We'll do it that way. Okay, so we can start. And I'm going to start with some paper. Got some paper here. I've got a whole pile of paper. So I'm just going to put that in front of me. I'm going to get my glue stick. And it's good to have that mat down that I had before, because it's a non-stick mat. So let's just put it down there and we can use it when we want to glue something. So I'll just leave it there. Okay, so I'm just going to glue what I see, what I've got on me. in my, what do you call it? My lots and lots of paper I have here. Just going to open it for a minute. So I really want to get that in the corner neatly. There we go. I'll just get my roller. I love using my roller because it really flattens everything down nicely. Okay, there's our first piece. Right, we've got some more here that we can use. This is some sort of tea-stained ruled paper. Not sure where it came from. Probably something I did, maybe. Okay, we've got some graph paper here. Let me just see if that'll fit. It will. There's a buzz of activity around my household today. All the neighbours are out. They're doing things. They're cutting. What else are they doing? Dogs are out. They're all barking. Neighbours coming and going. How exciting for them. I've got no excitement whatsoever in my life. Love to have some excitement. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to put my glue lid on because it dries out so quickly. I'm just going to get some scissors and I'm going to cut the bits off. Okay. Gooey is gluey. Okay, so I think that's pretty much down. We've got that covered. It gives it a lot of strength. Come on, get off. Okay, let's continue. I had a very good sleep last night, but I've got some sort of flu. I'm not sure, but it's some sort of flu. I noticed a lot of people here in Sydney are going to the hospital. They're rather sick from the flu. And so I'm not doing too bad. I suppose because I don't go out much, that I don't come in contact with a lot of people that's got the flu, but still manages to hit you. Even if you work in an environment where there's a lot of people or not, you still seem to get the flu. Okay, there we go. This is some sort of, not sure, sort of paper this is. Some sort of vintage paper, but not sure where from. Oh, it's stuck to my fingers. At this stage, I'm just covering it in with whatever paper I can see. It doesn't have to be, you know, coordinated so wonderfully that it looks perfect. It's just covering it with some vintage paper to make it feel solid for a start, and to then decorate it. So we can cut that. No, we can bend that there. That's good. Right, now I did have some, yeah, here it is, parchment paper. And I like this. It's beautiful paper. Let me just see. Okay. Let's just put that down. Just cover that there. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Been watching a lot of movies lately. Actual fact, I'm just going to rip that off. I'm going to come over the line. That's it. Yeah, some really good horror movies. I love horror movies. My favourite are thrillers and suspense, or whodunits, those sorts of things. But I also do like horror. Now, I wasn't into horror for many years. As a young girl, I was into horror big time. I come from that wonderful era of horror movies from the 70s, you know. What were they? Ugh, make me think now. H2O, what was that? Michael. Can't remember what it was called. But I did come from a big era of horror movies. Let me get it real up. And so it was pretty exciting to watch horror movies back then in the 70s and even the 60s when they had some of the black and white horror ones. They were really great. So oh dear. Alright, we'll put that down. Oh, stop yawning, Leanne. Oh dear, oh dear. I hate yawning on camera. So rude, isn't it? But I'll tell you what, you can't help it if it happens. I could edit, but I don't edit. I feel it's not necessary. Just go with it. Warts and all. I'll just put a tiny bit more of that beautiful paper. Oh, that's got writing on it. Parchment paper on it. Just there. What was I saying? Horror movies. So I've been watching a few lately. I've come back to love horror movies. You know, when I was young, I loved them as a teenager. But then I grew out of them and got, you know, thought they were horrible. And now I've gone back to them. Don't you find that strange? I do. Anyway, there we go. We've covered that one. We've done the front. Sorry, the front. And let's just do the back. I'm going to use that piece I just cut off. Yeah. Halloween. That's it. That's what I'm trying to get at. Oh, Halloween. What a movie. And I remember my first horror movie. It was called The Monster from the Black Lagoon. I think it was made in the 50s. I watched it in the 60s when we got television. Around 1964, I don't know, 65 onwards. I might have watched it at that time. And that was the most scariest thing to me as a young little girl. That was my very first horror movie. Now, in the early 70s, they had horror movies that were, or The Exorcist, those sorts of things. They were really big in the 70s, and a lot of other movies that were big in the 70s was, you know, the Poseidon Adventure, or, oh, you know, some of those old ones from the 70s that I used to watch. Horrifying. The Poseidon Adventure, that sort of movies with Ernest Borgnine, Charlton Heston, and Gene Hackman, those sort of movies that were big in the early 70s and late 70s. And then, of course, you know, The Exorcist, which I remember that came out when I was 13 years of age. So I would have been very similar age to Linda Blair, the one that played the possessed one. And I was not allowed to watch it. My sisters were going to the drive-in with my brothers. They were older than me. I was the youngest sister. They were a bit older than me, 5 years, 6 years older than me. And they snuck me into or they were trying to, away from my dad and mum. They were trying to sneak me into the drive-in by putting me in the back of the seat of the car, which was a Ford, by the way, under a rug. Dad came out, saw me, grabbed me and says, "Get to your room." So I missed out on the very, very first screening of The Exorcist. And I'm glad, in a way, he saved me. I mean, I was a young girl. I mean, even though I was into horror movies, I think that might have been just a little bit too much for the Catholic girl to bear. So in a way, I am glad Dad stopped me, but he didn't stop me when I was older. I watched the hell out of those movies. But I am glad that he stopped me when I was 13, because I was such an innocent, naive little Catholic girl that I think it would have affected me religiously, because I was very religious as a young girl. I wanted to watch it because there was a Catholic priest in it who was, you know, trying to get rid of the devil. So to me, it made perfect sense to watch it and look at it. Nonetheless, there we go. I'm not sure my father's reasoning. Maybe it was similar, but he didn't want me to see such horror. But my mother was willing to let me go. She knew I was hiding in the back of the car. She told my sisters to do it. Oh, my mother. No qualms on her. It's just my dad. There we go. We finished decorating that book. It takes a while because, and you have to be fast about it. Right, now I've got all this sticky glue on me. Ugh, uck. As I would say to my grandson, uck. Okay, so there we go. It's a little bit wet, so bear with it. Oops, it's sticking together. So all I've done is a patchwork quilt of paper. That's it. That's what I call collaging. Now, some days it works really well and some days it doesn't. It looks, you know, a patchwork like that. But it all adds to it. Okay, now we've got an envelope we have to do as well. I'm going to leave it over there to dry just for a few minutes. And this envelope here is got to be stuck down more because it's not glued down very well. And anyway, so what was I talking about? Ah, yes. And then come along all the hero ones like the Poseidon Adventure. That was heart-wrenching. I cried right through that, watching Gene Hackman, the priest, give up his life to save everyone. Thought that was very noble of him. Not sure whether a priest would do that today. Whoops, shouldn't say that. But not sure. They were the good old days, weren't they? Men were men. Even the priests were priests. Real men. Okay. Get off that subject. It's not that important. But those movies were fantastic. The Possession, Linda Blair. Oh my God. She was like a little bit of an icon for us people who loved horror. Linda Blair was only 13 when she done those movies. She was a bit before her time, wasn't she? And she did those movies. I remember Linda Blair. She was one of my favourite actresses of that time. And she was in a relationship with, well, what's his name? Rick Springfield, is it? And she was a very young little girl. So she was in that relationship with Rick Springfield. You know, the singer, Rick Springfield. Shouldn't have done it there. Never mind. So let's cover one of these. Oops. I'm going to have to get a wet wipe, I think. I'm really getting sticky fingers. It's affecting the paper. Alright. I will. I'll put this down and then I'll go get some. About there. Okay. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Let's get some vintage paper down the bottom here. There's some here. Oh dear. Right. So we're talking about those movies, weren't we? What else? Halloween. Halloween was another one, wasn't it? Halloween, the movie. Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh my gosh. She was in the very first original one, and she was very young, and yep, she was very young in that. She went on to have a good career with that franchise, and she was always a lovely actress, wasn't she, Jamie Lee? I always liked her. Another one I liked was the franchise of Star Wars. That was one of my favourites too. Who can't forget Star Wars, or even Star Trek with Captain Kirk? I mean, if every woman wasn't in love with William Shatner, they were crazy, because I was in love with him. He's gorgeous. He still is. I'd still go for him at my age. And how old would he be? He'd be probably 80 something maybe. He's a lovely actor. What a wonderful actor he is. He's such a nice man. I love his tremendous acting ability to do comedy. He obviously thinks of comedy in acting. He is so good at comedy, it's not funny. What was he in lately? Miss Congeniality. I really liked him in that. Once again, the comedy. Oh boy, was he funny. Wasn't he funny in that? Oh. And so was one of my other favourite comedians is the woman that played in there. Oh, what's her name? Gosh, I can't remember her name. You know, she was the pageant queen in charge of it. Oh, I can't remember her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. You just forget those things, don't you? Murphy Brown, that's it. She is a wonderful, wonderful comedian. I always did like her. She is, as far as I'm concerned, extremely funny woman. Very, very funny. Very dry, but very funny. Okay, so we've done that inside. Yes, it looks higgly-piggly, but don't worry about that. Yeah, Murphy Brown. Was it Murphy Brown? That was the show, wasn't it? It's not her name. Oh, gosh. Anyway, we all know who I mean, I'm sure. Her husband died. That's right, her husband died. Yeah. Yeah, very funny woman. Who else? Well, Mary Tyler Moore, wasn't she wonderful? Boy, she was lovely. I really did like her. I always wanted to have my hair like hers, you know, curled up like Catwoman's hair was once from Batman and Robin. The old one, I mean, not the latest Batman and Robins. Yeah, she was lovely, Mary Tyler Moore. Very modern thinker, modern miss, you know, she's the modern girl. And we all go, ooh, oh, look at the latest fashion she had, and then the latest hairdo. And that sort of thing. She was lovely, and of course Dick Van Dyke from that era. Wasn't there some good shows on in the 70s? Gosh, there were some good shows. I really loved all those shows from the 70s and 60s. I was watching the other day Herman Monster. Who doesn't remember Herman Monster, the Monsters? Oh my gosh, that was a good show. I really love that show. I'm not doing anything to the back because I'm going to fold this up in my book. So the only two surfaces I've got to cover is these ones that are left. Yeah. Herman Monster. And Grandpa. What about Marilyn? She didn't fit inside that family. She was oddball putting her in. But I guess they were trying to say that their relatives, they still had normal people. Normal people that belonged to their family. Wonder which side of the family she came from. Wouldn't have been Herman, must have been Lily's side. Grandpa's side. Yeah. I'm just going to cut a bit of this. And, yeah, Marilyn, she must have come from the other side of the family, Lily's side, because Herman was put together from test tubes, wasn't he? Or from Bunsen, no, not Bunsen's, what do you call them? Yeah, test tube type things. He was put together from a lot of parts, so he was created. So it must have been Lily's side of the family from Transylvania. That was the question on the other day. I can't remember. Hard Chat? Transylvania, was it? Transylvania from in Hard Track. Yeah. So what modern day city is Transylvania in? I thought it was Romania, but I think it was not Croatia, but one of those countries just around there, somewhere. Not that I can remember, but anyway. Okay, let's just put this up here. Cut the bits off. And put them back down and reuse them. Oh, that needs some glue. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, I put glue on it and it's still not sticking. I wonder why. There we go. Let's decide to take that time. Okay, that side's fine. Let's see. Right. I see you've got to glue these down. Okay, so we'll let that dry as well. Okay, I've got to get another wet wipe. The fingers have gone sticky. All right. Okay, so that was painful to do that, but we were talking about some great stuff. Anyone from my vintage would be interested, I'm sure. Not really. Not if you didn't watch those shows. Not if you weren't born the era I was born. I don't know why the glue came off so much there. But anyway, it's a new glue and it's sticky. Sticky! Okay. Let's get this one back. It's almost dry. Almost. I'm actually going to sew that, so that would be fine. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, let's move these over a bit. Okay, that needs a bit of gluing down. I'm going to use my finer glue. Let me just see, and this is a Super Tack, so it dries pretty quick. Let me just see, I've got to get the glue from the bottom to come down. There it is. Okay. Okay. Okay, that worked. That's down. Let me just check the other bits, pieces. One just there. Right, that's not too bad. That's pretty good. Okay, let's put our needle back on so that doesn't dry out. Okay, so here's the front. Is it? No, this is the front. I think this is the one I had as the front. Look, just when you thought you'd finished, you've got a little bit more to do. Okay, just going to hold that down. And I'm going to do this bit here. How could I miss that? It's so big. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. That's down. Okay, so here's the front. Let's open it up that way. Oh, that's a bit off the page, so let's cut it off. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do the front, and I'm just going to cover it with whatever I see was on my desk a little earlier. Let me see, I've got cords everywhere. Leave them away. Okay, I've got a couple of things here that we might be able to use. These are beautiful birds. I've sort of made this paper very, very bland. Like I've got just the sort of one tone, haven't I? So I really want something with a bit of colour this time. That's pretty, but this is prettier. Here's some pinkish birds. Pinkish background, that is. Still like that one. Got some flowers also. I think I'll stick with that bird there. I sort of like it. And I've got some flowers too. Ooh, I like that too. Yeah, I think I'll go with that on the front. I just like it. It's just the first thing I looked at and I liked it. Right, so let's glue that down. But before I do that, let me just see if there's any paper I might want to use. I'll just look at this music paper for a minute. I do want something with it. Okay. Coffee dyed paper. Beautiful. Okay. Might want to put that up there a bit. Still can't see the music. Let me just put it down a bit then. Right. That does really show nicely there. I'm just going to look for some paper, so don't panic. If I go over here to my box, let me just see if I can see some paper. I'm just going to pull some out. So don't panic. Just want a bit of colour there. Some of that. And I'll pull out another doily. You never know. Right, now I'm just going to go over to here and have a look at some paper I had in here. So just bear with me for a second till I find it. Got another piece. Now, let me just see some of this paper that I had lying around. Just want to use it up. With baby paper, I think. There's some. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's get back to this. I just got some paper here. I'm just wondering if some of this paper would look nice there. And it probably would. Oh, that's not paper, that's paper. Okay. What are the colours there? Well, I've got some pinks. Would that look good there? It certainly might. Green. And some red. The red's too much for it. Okay, I'm sort of going with this. Let's get our ruler and take a little piece off. Okay. I'm thinking just a square piece of this. So let's cut that. Let's just put it there. Right, that's not going to be seen, so we have to move it. Okay, so it's not too bad. The colour, it's giving it a nice colour. So I'm just going to put that there. Oops, I've cut two pieces there. Isn't that shocking? Okay, we'll put that one up there, and we'll see what the colour looks like together. Right, I don't mind that at all. Oh, I've got to itch. Let me try just there in the middle. Yep, that's better. Okay, so there we go. Let's stick with a bit of colour and a bit of stuff there. Okay, I should be doing this on my non-stick mat. I'm doing it quickly. Oh, why is that so stuck? Okay. Then what did we do with this? Did we put it down there? I think we did. Okay. Put my ruler over there. This here. Okay. Let's put that right there. Okay, and let's then put our flower down. Now this is cardstock. This flower's on cardstock, and it's not that thick a cardstock. I can't remember what size that is. Okay, use your roller. Okay, then we can cut the bits off. There we go. This is turning into a very long video. Oh well, you know what I suggest you do? Craft along. Do your own crafting and craft along with me. There. I just added that colour just to change it up a bit. Okay, let's continue on in the inside. At some point we'll use some more of this paper just to tie into the front. And I really like this paper. This is really nice. Let's get some beautiful pictures going. Let's do some flowers, maybe. I know we did a flower on the front, but so beautiful. Like, that is pretty. I really like that. Or even that looks really nice. I wonder if that'd look better over here. Ah, yes, I think so. Let me just see with a bit of paper in the background whether it will be nicer. Just a little piece of this, I think, just to give it some colour. Okay, I only want a bit. Okay, let's see what this can do. How about if I put it in the middle? I'll put this beautiful flower. Or is it a weed? I'm not sure. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, you know, I like it, so I'm going to use it. Okay. Just want to add a little bit of colour in with some paper. Now these are just 6x6s from a pad, I don't know, an old one. It's nothing flash, but you know, it looks nice. Now where's my flower? Here it is. Alright. Now I've got to open up this glue stick. It's just about ran out. I think that's why it's all over the place. Anyway, let's try and use it up as much as we can get it. Okay. Yeah, I like it like that instead. And that's what we've done. Just add a little bit of colour and put the flower in. different. Alright, so now we can go back to doing our bird, I think. There's a few birds there. Where's my favourite one I liked? Here he is. Now he's lovely, isn't he? Okay. Just gonna get some paper. See how he goes across there. And let's use the glue stick again till it's absolutely finished. Okay, so we'll just put that down there. And then we'll see our bird there as well. I think I have to throw this glue stick out. It's just about had it. I'm going to try and use the last dregs of it. Okay. Put him down a bit. Down there. Okay. And that looks okay to me. Alright. There's the front. There's inside. We haven't finished, so don't panic. That's not the end. That's just to get the book constructed. Now on the back, I'm not going to waste anything too much on the back. Let me see. How about if we put a label on it? Some sort of label. I think they look alright. Just stick it on the back. That looks alright. So I will put that label on. Okay. I'll stick that in the center. And that will look very nice. There we go. Okay, so we've got our pages decorated as much as the basis of what we wanted to achieve. Now, I'm going to throw that glue out. It's just about plonk. I've got a new one here. Just going to get a wet wipe. This video is very long, so I think I'll end it with this. And next time, another video, we'll do the envelope. And so forth and so forth. Let me get rid of that glue there. It's yucky. Okay, we've got our birds here. We've got some nice flowers. Now I'm just having a look. I had another bag here with, let me just see. I think I had some butterflies I had cut out already. But I have got more here to cut out if I need them. Here's some butterflies. Right, now I'm going to start on the front again, and I'm going to look for a nice label that will fit that. Something pretty, something small, not a square one. Let me try this one. No, they're wine labels. I don't want them. It's got some flowers in there. I didn't know I had. Right, I've got some small labels here. That's too white. too big. Let me just see if I've got any little ones. Little ones. But these sort of like a specimen. They look quite pretty. Let me try somewhere else. Alright, there's some more butterflies. I'll keep them. Take a couple out. Might use them. Right, these are some interesting labels. Get some small ones. It's more like a pharmacy one. Too white. Some more pinkish one. I'll leave that out. Oh, I love those ones. I think these are from the Graphics Fairy, these ones. I think. Don't quote me on them. Right. It's got words on it. That might be nice. Excuse me. Right. Okay, let's try another one. Last one. Ooh. These are red little ones. Just pull out a couple of them. You never know. On a dark night, what you're going to use. And it's not even night time. Right. Just looking for these tiny little ones. Here's some. Let me pull them out. Okay. Let me just go one more bag back and have a look here. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay. Bit whitish, but I'll have a look. Some round ones too. I'll just pull a few out. I do like these round ones here. Right. Drop that one. I'll get it later. Alrighty. Who am I talking to? Who knows? Right, they're my butterflies. Okay. Let me just have a look at these. I want some small ones. Some Tracy, I think, there. Tracy Fox, I think. Okay, we'll settle for that. Oops, nearly dropped everything. We'll settle for that. Move back everything. Everything's crawling. Okay, let's try the butterflies. Just try these ones I've cut out. Nope. Right. The colour's a tiny bit better. Maybe coming down because it fits. No. Okay. Let's go for anything. We need something small for the front. Yep, these ones I was thinking of. put them all over the place, see where they look the best. Could look better down here, could look better there. Certainly not up there, no. So about here. Maybe down a bit. Yep. Okay. I am going to brown it up. Okay. Okay. Let's use our new glue stick. Okay. Put it down there. Okay. Let's also find a butterfly out of this lot. Just a little square one we need. We don't need a big one. Let's cut a small one. There we go. Look at this. I'm trying to do 10 things at once. Okay. There we go. Right, let's see where we can put our butterfly. Yep, I do like it there. Oh, I am going to brown that up too. Just a touch. There we go. Try it again. It's okay when you're collaging to go over other things, even though that might be a focal point. It's all right to go over it. Okay, there were some more butterflies there I could have used. Okay, so we've got that so far. Now, I still haven't finished. I do like to add little bits and pieces of paper and things, so we're going to also do that. I'm going to move them up there because you're going to get sticky otherwise. See, even that's pretty as well. Could take it up. Take it up to about there. Yeah, I think that's one of Tracy Fox's digitals, I'm thinking. Okay, let's move over to the inside. If we can get it open, it's all sticky. Okay, so we've got our bird and we've got some background paper. So there's no harm in putting other stuff there. Collaging all around it. There's no problems doing that. I'm not that fond of these butterflies I've cut out. I'm sure there's more somewhere. But that's a very striking colour, so we'll use that. Okay, I'm stuck. There we go. Silly little butterfly was stuck. Okay, come on, stick down. And stick to my fingers. Oh, look at that. I'm not sure why that didn't stick. Why it moved. It's odd. Okay, so we've done our little butterfly. Let's find a nice pretty label. They're too white, but we can brown them up a bit. It's quite a few things you can put on the backgrounds of these. Let me just check out some more butterflies. I do like to put them in. Let's try this one. Okay. My off camera, sorry. Okay. Okay, let's stick that just there. Okay. So we stuck it just there. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's do a little label now. We need a small one. Let me just see if I can find one. Yeah. I've got quite a few little labels that are small. Just trying to find that tiny little red one. There it is. That looks nice there. So let's do that. Okay. Right. I dropped that. I'm just going to go back and get it. My head's down. Oh, hope you didn't see it. And I got my bike shorts on today. Hope you can't see them either. Okay. Alright. Okay, just there will do. I'm not going to roll that because the roller seems to be moving it. Okay. I'm not going to do that around the sides on this one. Ink it because it's already inked. I think that's one of Tracy Fox's one. Okay. I think that we can add a little bit of paper. Let's see. A little bit of music paper. I like adding little bits of paper. I'm not sure why. I just do. Just love adding it. There's a piece. Where's my music? Piece there. Okay, so I don't mind that. Okay. So we're not going to touch the back. We're just going to leave that beautiful label on there. We might stamp something on it. So I'm thinking pretty much that this may be the end of it, except I'm going to sew it, of course. So I've got a bit of everything to look at there. It's an eclectic thing. Excuse me. This is old vintage paper, this. We should really use some, shouldn't we? Let's have a look at the front. The front could do with some. Just there. Okay, we'll put some there. There. That really looks good. I like that. And I've got some. Pick it up, Leanne. Come on. I'll just stick this on as well. As I said, I like putting on tiny little bits of paper all over my work. Okay, that's good. I'll just get this music out as well. This is pretty white, so we really don't want it too white, do we? Okay, so I think the front might need a tiny bit up there, just a tiny bit. That's just my eye seeing what I see, what I think. So there's no fast rule on that. I'm just saying my eye tells me that it needs something right there. And everyone is different, aren't they? And no one's wrong. We're all right, all of us, how we see something. It's in the artistic view of seeing things, how your brain works. Okay, so that's the front. That still looks a bit white to me. I'll just colour that in a little bit too, the music. Okay, it's a touch better. So is that music note? Okay. You can also just dab this on with this thing I use. Okay, so there we go. And then we've got our inside. Our inside, our birdie num-nums, and then the back. Now the back, I'm going to stamp something there, so I wouldn't worry too much about that at this stage. All right, I think that's all I've got time for. Boy, time flies when you're having fun. Ah, so much to do, little time to spare. Okay, so until I see you next time, have fun doing this stuff. These are for my junk journal I'm making. And a junk journal gives you the opportunity of seeing a lot of things, or a lot of techniques, or a lot of junk journal and techniques on those junk journals, because a lot of them are, you know, placement, color, and what they're selling, and so forth, and instructions, things like that. They all have a format, the way they're done. So a junk journal to me is something that you can look at and take your time in looking at every detail. So I love doing these things. Now I do have to machine sew it, and I've got some more to do, so we'll get back to that. So I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.